Hello. I got my hair cut. Can't really tell too much. My bangs ain't my eyes no more. But I still got my good old long beard and my good old 70s style haircut. I go to my mom's to get my hair cut because she's a beautician. She's been doing it for 35 years, somewhere around there like that. And I get it done for free. Now, I've only paid to get my hair cut 2 times. Once was in like, I don't know, like 97, 98. And that's when I was driving over the road. And another time was about four and a half years ago. Is when my mom was in the hospital because she had diverticulitis. And basically, even when she got out of the hospital, I didn't want to bother her because she was still gut issues, stuff like that. So I just went somewhere else. Of course, she got mad, and of course, I told her why I did it, and she's still mad. So I was like, whatever. But today, I'm going down 20 miles roughly. I got 2 of these, and I'm taking to a buddy of mine's house, and he basically breaks them, as they call it, jailbreaking, and he's going to add a couple more things onto. I got 2 of them, one for me, for my TV in the bedroom, and one for my mom. And the reason why I got for my mom is because sorry. She likes the one I have in the house on the main TV. And of course she goes, well, I don't have internet. And I'm like, you don't need internet, you just need Wi-Fi. So sometime probably this week I'm gonna go buy her a Wi-Fi router and have everything set up so I can take it to her house, plug this up to her TV, and she can call her cable provider and say, I'm done. Y'all come get your crap. I don't want it. So that is my sole intention, because there's a lot of shows on here, like cable TV shows that you can access, and I know that there's a lot of things on there my stepdad loves watching. So, and then on top of it, there's a lot of things on there I know my mom likes too. So, if it'll save her $100 a month for cable, which for just cable alone, no internet, no telephone service, just cable alone costs her about $100 a month. And you know, hell, you figure that out, $100 a month roughly times 12. That's a good chunk of change you could use on something else. So that's what I'm doing that for. And since I've lived where I'm at right now, I've been here almost 10 years, and I've never paid to watch TV. I have 2 antennas on my house. I have one that came from my grandfather's house that was bought in 1952, 51 or 52 as a radio antenna. No, it was before that. Yeah, it was about let's just say 52, 51, 52 for a radio antenna. And about 1955, I believe they converted it to a TV antenna. Now, I have that on my house, and of course it's beat up and battered, but I'm still using it because I know who had it. It's just one of those things that kind of gets me a little closer to him. Now, I have a UHF antenna that's more modern, which is okay. It doesn't pick up as good, but it's okay, I guess. I can't complain too much. But yeah, I got that. So but yeah, I mean, I pick up, you know, all my local channels. I get some of their I get the local channels with their additional cable local channels. So I mean, plus then I get all the PBS, and I watch a lot of PBS because I enjoy that network. And of course here it's PBS, but it's called KET, which is Kentucky Educational Television, and I watch that a lot. But since this we've had a Firestick now for about 2 years, and I watch a lot of stuff on the TV, like there's you got like YouTube that you can watch through the Firestick. That instead of being like your little video telephone screen or your monitor, which is about this big, I got a 50-inch TV that I can watch YouTube on. And I can see everything, and I don't have to zoom in or anything like that because it's so big. There it is. You can see everything, and you don't have to get your glasses or microscope out to see what they're doing half the time because you can see what they're doing. So, but that's where I'm headed to. But what I'm gonna do is, you're not gonna look at my ugly ass all the way down there. I'm basically gonna turn the camera screen, because I got the camera pointing at me, but I got the flip screen where I can see myself. But I'm going to turn that around. I'm going to put the camera on Velcro. And let me make sure I got some extra pieces in here, because I got a couple pieces of Velcro that fell off yesterday. Kind of agitated, but it happens. Everything, yeah, there's two stickies. So, man, this thing's like concrete getting off. So I'm going to pick you up for a second, move you all around. Sorry about the moving. Let's see. There's one there, one there. There's flip. Here, let's put you right here. Right here in the downward motion. Yeah, I know. Y'all don't like looking at my ceiling of my blazer. Well, I don't blame you. Evidently my door ain't closed. No, that's not on. No, that one's not on. What the hell's going on with my blazer? Here, hold on. I'm going to turn y'all around. Y'all can see my kitties. There's one. Dang on, the lights are on. I don't know why. That's why. Whoever got in the blazer in here didn't close the door. Hopefully I got enough juice to fire this thing up. Turn this down. I don't think I'm going to listen to rock and roll first thing on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon. I'm glad I got me something to drink, because I really didn't want to stop and now the yard doesn't look as bad. Remember those big old piles of branches I had over there? I took the chainsaw the other day and cut everything up. Only thing I do now is cut up some of the bigger pieces of those limbs that I'm going to use for firewood. So, got a half tank of gas, I guess. Yeah, I'll get gas on the way back out. I guess she's moved out all the way. The lady that lived two places down from our main road, she packed up. Past day or two, looks like she's completely gone. Guess I'll take the alternate route to the interstate. Then from the interstate, I will go down I-65 south, so that way I can get there a lot faster, and I will be there in a matter of no time. That's Kiss playing, by the way. I forgot even when I turned it down. The way the blazer sits with the radio, if you go, the faster you go, sometimes the louder it gets. So that's why you're hearing Kiss in the background. A lot of these trees, y'all probably can't tell. Turn this radio down so I'm not fucking screaming over Kiss. A lot of these trees you really can't tell, but they're starting to blossom out. The juniper, maple, and there's another one, I can't think which one it was. Last week we're all budding out. Now there's a bunch of other ones I can see, like little small fine green leaves on some of these others starting to bud out. Maple trees are massively flowering. That's the past couple of days my eyes feel like they've been on fire, and that's the reason why, because tree pollen kills me. But from about now until about 1st of May, I'm going to have sinus issues, and my eyes are going to be burning, and all kinds of phlegm going to be coughing up because of sinus drainage. And that's about the only thing that really kills me, springtime wise, is the trees. Now, ragweed is another thing that gets me, but that's like a very short-lived one. I mean, it's unlike the tree pollen. Tree pollen's what kills me. So it doesn't matter where I go, unless I go out in the desert. It's going to affect me all the same. So, and I love these people. Oh, well, I'll just move from this place and go to this place, and it still affects them. So, but I will say one thing: if you have allergies, do not move to Kentucky, because Kentucky is one of the main states that has most of the hardcore allergies for everybody. And I couldn't tell how many people I've met that's transferred from other places to Fort Knox, and they just complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. I'm thinking, well, you know, you're here for so much time, there's no sense of complaining every day because your allergies are kicking your ass. You know, I'm sorry, you came to an area that, it's making you uncomfortable, but your everyday complaining is making me uncomfortable. So, man, it's a lot of course, this is noontime, so all the churches are getting out. That's why I was like, man, it's a lot of traffic. And I just realized this is like all the churches of the area is getting out. And now, I'm not for sure if it still holds or not, but I know when I was back in like high school, we were known, my county was known for the most churches and the most pawn shops in the county. Now, since Fort Knox has basically moved all its basic training and armament and everything else out of Knox and placed it elsewhere, and now basically Fort Knox is a hub for people getting out of the Army, and as of right now, it's basically Fort Knox's role. It still holds the world, well, I'd say the world, but it holds all of the United States' gold, and spoils of war from World War II and things of that nature in that gold vault. It's also the military payroll hub for all branches of service. And so basically Fort Knox is kind of dead. I mean, there's still people that come there for like, because they, of course, they still have like a lot of the helicopter divisions there. They do use the training ranges occasionally. Say like if the Marine Corps wants to come in and do like a combat scenario, they'll come here and they'll train for like a weekend or a week or whatever. They still have the close quarter combat range. There's a few other things they still have sitting around out there that they still train on and so forth. So I mean, it's not like it's completely dead. And they do have a special ops team there, but I don't know which one it is or who it is, because people just kind of well, I know there's one there, but like I said, I don't know who it is or what it is. And the reason why I know it's there is because one of the guys I know that retired from there had a lot of clearance, and basically he advised me that, you know, if we were sneaking onto post, that, you know, what to be careful of, what to look out for, stuff like that, because we do sneak on post occasionally just to have some fun and do things that, you know, we're not supposed to do. And it's just one of those things, you know. It's, of course, there's still a lot of things out there. Come on, I'm doing my good deed for the day. Y'all witnessing this. I'm letting this guy out. That's my one good deed I did for the day. Now the rest of it, I can act like a prick or an asshole. So, and that's how I live. When I drive, I do one good deed, and after that, I'm done. So anybody else trying to get out or maneuver or wedge in between, it ain't gonna happen. And I've been doing that since I drove over the road. But getting back to Fort Knox, they used to shoot tanks all the time and all kinds of machine gun fire at nighttime. Hell, I'd lay in bed, my bed would shake from the tank fire. And occasionally, depending on what range they were on, when they were shooting the 50 cals and the Gatling guns and everything else, my windows would like literally shake. And it was, you know, people are like, well, how do you live through that? Well, it's just like people live next to an interstate or live by an airport or train tracks. You know, you just get used to it. You don't think nothing about it. And but yeah, I mean, I had, you know, when all the armament left, they quit doing all the hardcore training. Man, it was like weeks, and I mean weeks went by. I couldn't sleep at night. It was just too damn quiet. I mean, hell, they used to shoot tanks every night for years, and they'd have, you know, machine gun fire every night for years. And then it was like I gotta crank my speed up because I got a tractor trailer behind me. I don't want to make him slow down too much. I don't want to get too close to this guy here because I don't want to draft him. So I'm gonna scoot my ass over some. Now I'm doing the speed limit. This is I-65 south, by the way. As you can see them signs I'm going past underneath and everything else. Speed limit on this road was 80. And then took it down to 75. And then I think they took it back down to 70, but I'm not for sure exactly. But yeah, so I'm doing between 70 and 75 right now. I should put cruise control on, but I'm not. But this is a good following distance behind the semi. I mean, maybe a little bit less if I was behind him, but as of right now, to be beside him, this is a good distance. That way, it gives him enough room. He can get over if he has to in a short moment, or if something happens, say blows a tire, it gives me enough time to where I can hit the left lane or zip back over in the right lane as long as there's nothing behind me or catty corner to me. But back to Fort Knox again. Yeah, I just it sucks now because there's nothing really major goes on there. It's just a hub now, basically, is all it is. For people transferring out or transferring through, or payroll. Hell, they lost the hospital on Fort Knox about 6 months ago. They closed it down, and that was a shame because hell, not even 3 years before that, they dumped like $15 million in the hospital. And then after, that 6 months ago, they closed it. Don't make any damn sense. You dump $15 million into a building and then you shut it down. It's about retarded. But that's government for you. That's how government works. And then if you're like me, on disability, and I ain't making crap on disability. I get $763 a month, and I was working, basically I worked from the time I was 13 years old, legally working at 13 at a job here in town, getting taxes taken out and getting a paycheck, up until I was about 33 years old. It's about the time I quit working. So from 13 to 33, with all that time put in, all that money taken, hell, when I was driving them trucks like I have in front of me, my Social Security tax was $1,000 a week taken out of Social Security. I wouldn't say tax, but you know what they call it, a tax. And I drove a truck for 10 years. So you figure $1,000 a week was being taken out into Social Security for 10 years. And of course, when I went to file, they're like, oh, what you paid in doesn't affect what you get. Well, how in the hell is that possible? Well, it's because it was just taken out. Yeah, okay, whatever. There's Landstar. I guess I'm gonna speed up some more. I got this Kenworth W900 on my. I won't say it's on my ass. There's about a 8-car lap gap between us. But he's doing more than the speed limit. He's getting a little closer. So I'm in the middle lane now. Big trucks on the interstate here can use the middle lane and the right lane. And technically, they can use the middle lane for passing, but they're not supposed to cruise in the middle lane. And it's like right lane restrictions. But they don't enforce it down this way because there's a lot of commercial traffic that comes through this area because we're like the hub of the interstate system. So a lot of the troopers through here, they don't enforce it because they know the drivers have a job to do, and they're doing everything they can to get where they're going. Now, there's a lot of that phlegm I was telling you about from sinus drainage. So, and there's a lot of these people that I'm doing basically the speed limit, and people are passing me because they're doing over the speed limit. So then they get back over in front of me, and then they zigzag back and forth. So nobody's ever happy on the interstate. that's why I just pick a lane and stay in it, unless I have to get over. But this coming up here, I don't know if you've seen the signs for it or not. This is the Glendale exit. This is where I used to be a volunteer firefighter at. And there's two big truck stops, one on the left and one on the right. The one up here we're coming upon is Petro on the right, Pilot's on the left. And when Petro first opened up here, the truck stop, I worked in there a little bit in the truck bay. I changed truck tires and I lubed them, I greased them, I changed the oils, I checked the transmission fluid, checked the differential gears and all kinds of other things. So, and then after that I went to driving. So I mean, I had a little knowledge of semi use and stuff like that. Of course, my dad was an over-the-road truck driver for many years, and I went out with him. I knew things from that too. So I wouldn't say I was a highly educated truck driver, but compared to most of them out there driving at the time, I was, except for the older guys. The older guys knew a hell of a lot more than I did. And I always listened to them because you never knew what you could learn from them, so that's why I did what I did with them. Okay, speed limit now is 70. Now, I was doing, when those cars were passing me, I was doing between 75 and 80. And I'm in the middle lane, which is kind of like the right lane for the interstate, excepting truck traffic. So I'm doing about 73 right now, roughly. And as you can see, I still got people passing me like I'm doing like 55. But I don't care. I don't speed up. Basically, I do about the speed limit. I don't speed on it. And I try to do the speed limit as much as possible. But if I can't, you know, it happens. I'm in no hurry. Now, if I was in like that flatbed in front of us, well, it's not really a flatbed. That's a drop deck, but it's still considered like a flatbed. Now, if I was driving one of them things, I'd have my speed set to as high as it'd go if it was governed, and I'd be in a hurry, because the faster I get to where I gotta go, the extra few hours I'd have to kick my heels and take a sleep and whatever else I need to do. Excuse me. But since I'm in a car, or a POV, which is privately owned vehicle, I'm not in a hurry anymore. I just take my time. I get where I'm going. And this road's crap. Now, on the way back home, if I have enough battery life and film space, I'm going to come back the old way. And that way, y'all can see the scenic route besides the interstate route. And I know that a lot of y'all are like, man, it's kind of bleak through here. Well, it is a little bit. It's the interstate. It happens. But it's no big deal. There's a Swift truck. Now, I don't know if you can see them or not. I'll be up to them here in a minute. They do about 60, 65 max out. Now, when I was driving, we always picked on the Swift drivers, because we always said Swift stood for sexy woman in a fast truck. Sure wished I finished training. There's a bunch more I just can't think of, but those are two I know offhand. And but yeah, they got a bad rap because they hire some of the country's worst drivers ever. You know, you get on Google, type in Swift trucking accidents, and there's like thousands and thousands of things. You just look at and you're thinking, how in the hell do you even possibly do that? I mean, it's like common sense tells you not to do something, and you know, they do it anyway. But they are like the biggest joke of the companies in the trucking world. Now, this right here it's not a bad little place there. It's a real small little town. Pallet truck stop to the left. There's a 5-star right there on the corner. It's not a bad little town. It's actually, Sonora's like an Amish town. There's a lot of Amish people that live around here. And where I'm going to is Upton, which is another about 10 miles down the road. And they have a lot more Amish down there than they do up here. Because the farther south you go, the more Amish you're going to find. And once you cross into Hart County, Hart County is like the hub mecca central for Amish. There's, I would say probably 50% of Hart County is Amish related, or Mennonite, one of the two. And they, of course, you know, they stick to themselves, but at the same time, you know, they sell a lot of stuff to the outside community. I feel sorry for that guy. I know how that feels to be brought down the side of the road. Man, it sucks. But, you know, it's just things you gotta deal with when you're driving. Just part of life, I guess. The life of a truck driver. You're always getting your ass chewed out. You're always getting yelled at because you get in trouble if you're on time. You get in trouble if you're not on time. There's just all kinds of crap you gotta deal with. I mean, I love doing it. Don't get me wrong. I love driving. Because I told my company, so I'm like, when I pick up and when I pick my load up and I'm en route, don't talk to me unless I have a breakdown or mechanical issues or something like that. I said, what I'm doing is my business. You just sit back and wait till I get to the destination so I can drop this load or drop the trailer. A lot of times I got in trouble for it because they want to know every move I made, and I'm like, well, I'm driving, leave me alone. Now I'm gonna get past this slow truck up here I'm coming upon. I'm doing 70, which is basically the speed limit. So he's doing about 65, maybe 65, 66, maybe 67. He could be going a lot faster, but he's not. Man, I got a lot of overflow from him when I passed him. Now, I'm getting this right lane because I got 1 mile to my exit, and once I get up here, I'm gonna be making a right-hand turn, Clyde. Exit 76. I gotta get this thing in the shop. My front end is like all out of whack. I got a bad vibration in the front I didn't have beforehand. Of course, it could be the interstate too. But either way, I'm still gonna get it checked out. Now, here's my exit right here. Now, man, that wind's blowing. I let off the gas and I went down to almost 60 miles an hour from the wind blowing. That's how hard it's blowing across here. Right-hand turn. Good chunk of metal on the side of the road. Wish I had a trailer. I'd pick it up, take it home with me. Now, this right here. You see the road sign or not? This was 224. And way down here at the end of the road, it makes a Y. I go left to right. Well, I'm gonna take me a right, and that's 31W. If you stay on this road 31W, it'll take you all the way into Alabama. So, but I'm not going to Alabama. Not anytime soon anyway. Looks like a crackhead. There's a lot of crackheads live down through here. Used to be just the opposite. You found all the crackheads in the city. Well, I guess they got tired of getting busted and stuff, so they all moved out in the counties now. No cop, no stop. This here is the itty bitty small town of Upton. And when I say itty bitty small town, you're getting ready to see the hub of the town here in a second. Because I gotta make a left-hand turn up here across these train tracks, so I can get a little farther over to where a fellow friend of mine lives at. Speed limit through here, I think, 25, 35, around there. But I do about 30 anyway. Now, it's my turn. This right here, what you're looking at, this is the city limits of Upton. This is the big part of the town. Now, right up here, across the train tracks. Now, this little spot up here where people having this little yard sale, this is like the community area. This is where everybody comes to have a yard sale. Now, here's IGA building. You only see part of it. That's the only grocery store in the whole area.